Welcome to the Daily Mentor. I am Sharonda Mahan. I am the founder of Wealth Starts With Me, and I am so excited to have you a part of the Daily Mentor program. The Daily Mentor will consist of one 10-minute or less video to help you to get prepared for your day. I will speak to you on different topics each day. Each video is also going to be available on YouTube, and you can click on them below. I did this specifically for your convenience so that you can be able to create a playlist on your YouTube account where you save whatever videos resonate with you the most for easy access. I wish you so much success on this journey. We're going to get started with day one. The easiest thing that I've ever done was to remove negative people and habits from my life and to live the life that I'm currently living. The hardest thing for me to do was believe that I could do it. For me to get here to this point that I'm at now, it took for me to be honest about where I was and to be conscientious about who and what I was allowing to hold me back from achieving my goals. For so many years, I felt stuck. I felt as though I could not catch a break. I was stuck in this cycle of wanting more than what I had, but felt limited to what I could receive. I'm not sure if anyone can relate, but have you ever wanted more in life, but felt as though no matter what you did, you just couldn't obtain it? Whenever I received more of what I was used to having, something would occur that would knock me back down to only having what I was used to having. I literally couldn't get ahead. I was in a cycle of one step forward, two steps back. Now, this technique would have been great for a tango dance, right? But it's absolutely horrendous in real life situations when you're trying to reach your goals. I didn't know the name of what I was doing at that time, but in hindsight, I recognized that I was living with the scarcity mindset, and I was always self-sabotaging. And in psychology, we learn that the brain favors familiarity, and our brains are wired to default to what we know and what we're used to and what we're comfortable with. And this is exactly what makes it so difficult to break old habits. And this is especially true when we're under pressure or stress. Now, I want to dive a little deeper and give an example. So, as an example, if you know that spending to make yourself feel better doesn't often help your situation, right? You'll often be drawn to that familiar decision either way because that's what your brain is wired to do. Another example is that sometimes we may overeat. We might overeat things that aren't good for our bodies. We neglect our health by not exercising. If you don't take care of yourself, you're risking so many different consequences. But a lot of times we make excuses to make ourselves feel better about our choice to not even take a short walk or go to the doctor and get a checkup. Despite what your excuses may be, the reality is that when you improve your health, you will be more happy. And you will have the motivation to go after your goals. So I challenge you that if it's your health that you're neglecting, work on that today. A personal example for me was I stayed at a job that made me completely and utterly unhappy. I was totally unfulfilled, unsatisfied. It was dreadful, but I continued to stay. So it wasn't until I got tired of that feeling over and over again. I reached my bottom, and I decided to use my free time to look for new opportunities because I was tired of allowing my job to make me feel complacent or stuck. Sometimes we get stuck in I have bills to pay, so I have to stay at this job. And I was tired of feeling that way. I was grateful. I was definitely grateful for the job. It was able to help me to pay my bills, but I wanted more out of life than just working to pay my bills. And I knew I didn't want to stay there forever, and I didn't want to retire there. And I knew that I wanted to spend more time with my son. So I stepped out on faith and I started an in-home daycare. And I was able to have everything that I needed at that time. My bills were paid. I had more time with my son, and I was doing something that I enjoy doing, which is teaching. So another example that you may be self-sabotaging is that you keep toxic people in your life. You surround yourself with people who whine, who complain, they gossip, and these people are stuck on repeat. They repeat the same type of life, same year, every year. Their prime time probably was like in high school or someplace of that nature, and they haven't accomplished much since then. And there are various reasons why you would keep these people around. You might keep them around because they're familiar, you're comfortable with them. They help you maybe to even validate your feelings of blaming other people for you not reaching your goals. I challenge you on this to remove those toxic people, especially as you go through this program. I want you to limit your time with them if you can't remove them altogether, at least while you get yourself in alignment with achieving your goals. And you'll be able to see how far you will grow. And you'll propel your success if you let go of dead weight and anchors. Most importantly, though, I want you to expect more from yourself than you expect from other people. So definitely put more emphasis on change. You can only change yourself. That's what we must know. You can only change yourself. You cannot change other people. So definitely expect more from you than you do from other people. So now that I went over a few examples of what self-sabotage looks like, let's dive into why we might self-sabotage. One reason that we might do this is to avoid the risk of failure. If we have underlying doubts about our abilities in order to succeed at something or to achieve our goals, even if we think we are capable of them on the surface, we often end up self-sabotaging. As much as we tell ourselves that we want to succeed, our brains choose the option of accepting and controlling our own failures over the uncertainty of what may happen otherwise. So our brain protects us. The way our brain protects us is by defaulting back to our comfort zone. But your success is on the other side of that. So you have to work towards getting your brain uncomfortable, right? So that's what we're going to be doing throughout this program. So I want to discuss another reason that we self-sabotage. It's due to avoidance and procrastination. Oftentimes we allow ourselves to take responsibility for outcomes and again, reduce the risk of failure. Overall, our instincts are constantly trying to protect us and avoid situations that make us feel vulnerable or uncomfortable. And if we feel anxious, we can procrastinate, right? In order to put off making those decisions. But again, we want to get out of that. We want to make decisions and we want to get uncomfortable and we want to reach our goals. So we have to go against what feels comfortable all of the time. I'm not sure if any of this sounds familiar to you, but if it does, there is some good news. This can be overcome. And it all starts with understanding what the root of your self-sabotage really is, because we're all different. Your self-sabotage is going to look different than mine. It's going to look different than your parents and your children's and so on and so forth. So you have to dig deep and understand where am I self-sabotaging and where do I need to work? So we're going to get completely deep. We're going to get completely open to understanding about ourselves and why we are holding ourselves back, because genuinely at the end of the day, we're the ones who hold ourselves back. So, throughout this daily mentor challenge, this is what we will be working on: getting mentally prepared to receive the desires of our heart. So, today I want you to get ready, because you are going to ask yourself some uncomfortable questions in order to uncover what beliefs about wealth and success that you have that are holding you back from moving forward toward your goals. Before I get to the journal prompt questions, I want to share this quote with you that's referenced to have been originally said by Albert Einstein. Here's the quote: "The thinking that got us to where we are is not the thinking that will get us to where we want to be." So I want you to keep that in mind for the remainder of this program. Challenges are going to arise. Life is going to happen, but you have to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to think outside of what you're used to in order for you to create the life that you desire. Be sure to check out the journal prompts below.